A seed is the dormant dream of a new life, a hope, a prayer, the smallest version of an entire life. Creation stories the world over are often germinated from just one green life, seed or seedling, nourishing and making possible all other lives who are then able to reproduce and radiate out from there. In a heavy old wooden chest that sits at the foot of my bed, among the many treasures tucked inside is a green felt tree shape, onto which one or the other of my daughters in their second grade year pasted the little shapes of birds, a nest, leaves, and fruits. At the bottom, she has pasted an abridged excerpt from the parable of the mustard seed from the Christian Bible, Luke 13:18 through 19. What is the kingdom of God like? And to what shall I compare it? It is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his garden, and it grew and became a tree, and the birds of the air made nests in its branches. I like the tree, the bird life, the seed references. Though we are not a religious family, and I am not a religious person, it is not lost on me now that seed is to plant life what a Messiah is to Western religions. The Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, and the beginning again. Posted in my home office is an old Welsh proverb. A seed hidden in the heart of an apple is an orchard invisible. The notion of it, a seed, and the very act of it, to seed, permeate our collective cultural fabric and imagination. Seeds are the flesh of life and one of the smallest visible units of its meaning. They are the future of that flesh and meaning, and they hold the metaphoric bounty of it all, wrapped up in the enormous diversity of their relatively tiny forms. Linguistically, seed is a wildly and fascinatingly compounded word in the English language. Think seed money, seed bed, bad seed, seed stitch, seed pearls. We seed clouds, we seed thoughts, we seed imaginations, we seed fields of athletes. As a gardener, I was intrigued to learn that in athletics, seeding players dates back to the 1800s, when tennis first began distributing players by ability more equally across the span of a competitive series, so that the best players didn't compete directly until the end of the competition, increasing interest for both players and audience, and mimicking the idea of planting the seeds or seedlings of the biggest plants at the back of a garden bed, so as to not outcompete and overshadow the smaller specimens in the front. There are seeds of love, seeds of war, seeds of hope, seeds of success, and seeds of change. We spill our seed in intimate union, the Latin for seed being semen, ecstatically or recklessly. We become seedy in self-neglect. We go to seed in our senescence and old age. These linguistics are fabulous and profoundly pregnant with possible meaning. This parallel, just like seed itself, holds an abiding interest for me. Why is this so? No doubt similarities exist in other natural processes or aspects of the plant, animal, and geological spheres. But it occurs to me through just these simple linguistic observations that we as humans understand ourselves better in some small way as a result of our metaphoric identification with seed. We, humans and the seeds that surround and support us, live distinctly different and yet interestingly parallel lives. This all speaks to the capaciousness of the figurative as well as literal cultural importance of these life-bearing forms.